This is Money World Podcast, Episode 3, 10x Method. All right, pretty much, I did hear about the whole 10x thing long ago. Didn't realize it was Grant Cardone that was talking about the whole 10x thing, and he has a book that he talks about the 10x rule. So me personally, it was just the idea that after I got this whole concept from a video a long time ago. It's like some type of marketing video about affiliate marketing or just marketing online in general. And it was the idea that you got to learn how to make $1 because too many people want the big numbers, right? $1 million, right? $1 billion. So their goals are higher, but you don't automatically by default start a YouTube channel and immediately bang make a $1 million or something like that. It doesn't work that way, right? You start from the bottom up, right? So you start from $1 and work your way up. Just like you don't just immediately get a million views just by uploading a YouTube video, right? You start off with 1 view, then 2, then 3, and so on and so forth. So same thing as having a lot of videos on your YouTube channel. You don't just start a channel and immediately have 1,000 plus videos on there. You have to start off with 1. So it's always about 1 first. Start off with 1 thing, do 1 thing, and that's it's the whole first step concept, right? Taking the first step to your many millions, right? So that's the important thing. So with that in mind, the whole first step thing, making that first dollar is the next step. The next step doesn't have to be 2, and then the step after that 3 and 4 and so forth. You don't have to be like make $1, then make 2, then make 3. If that's how it works, that's how it works out for you, depending on the situation you're in. But you want to 10x it, right? Because it's just the simple idea of putting in that 10 times the effort. So you already put effort to make $1, right? To learn how to make $1. So that was the first step. You learn how to make $1. Once you have that, you want to do that. You want to do that 10 times as much. So let's say you spent an hour trying to learn how to make $1, and then you spend an hour doing something, the thing you learned, right, to make $1, and then you made $1. Right? So since you made $1 in an hour, you might want to make $1 every hour for 10 hours, for example, and make $10, right, as an example. So you want to do it 10 times. Then you want to do it 10 times again. Once you get to because at some point you're not just going to keep making $1, right? At some point you're going to quickly and easily make $10, for example, right? Because you're starting to put in 10 times the effort. Once you get to that point, that becomes effortless, right? That becomes normal. Making $10 starts becoming the same thing as making $1, right? It feels the same, right? So then you need to do that 10 times, right? And then 10x, right? So now since it's easy for you to make $10, now you gotta put in 10 times the effort. And then that's how you get to 100. And once you're at 100, 10x that, right? 10 times the effort for that, and go from 100 to 1,000, and so forth. And that's the whole idea of the 10x method, which is something. It's more of a mindset, like a goal. It's more of a goal. You want to get to that point, but you're not always going to stay there, right? Because you can always 10x, right? You can always do more because you have an idea, which is to put in a certain amount of effort, which is 10 times what you already did. So if you started like an eBay, like let's say you started eBay business, right? You started an eBay to sell something, or to sell stuff, and you're making good money, but you have ideas to make money from something else. Like I use this stuff over here. Like let's say you were making money off of smartphones on one eBay account, but since you don't want to just put a whole bunch of different stuff on there, you want to just stay focused on just selling only smartphones on that eBay account. You might make another one selling microscopes, and another one making microphones, another one selling mirrors and TVs and stuff like that. And you get the idea. Eventually, at some point, you might end up with 10 eBay accounts. With different niches, right? I'm pronouncing it wrong. Niches, right? Anyway, point is, but each one has its own thing that it's focusing on, and it does very, very well. obviously, because it makes you money, right? So it works very well. And right there, you got 10 times. You 10x it, right? You're doing 10 times the work when you was doing less the first time, because you started one eBay account. You got good at that eBay account. Then you did it 9 more times. You 10x'd it, so you have a total of 10 eBay accounts. So you're doing that same amount of work 10 times. It's the same thing as just 10xing anything, not just businesses or activities, but yeah, activities, like the idea of, like, it's not enough to just um, make a like YouTube video, right, and post it to YouTube, and then that's it. Make sure you grab go to the share button, grab the code, the link to your YouTube video, right? Then post it on Facebook, post it on Instagram, post it on Twitter, right? TikTok, and the list goes on. Try to find ways to be creative, find ways to promote, right? That's the concept of promoting, is you're trying to put what you're doing out there enough times that eventually somebody will see it at least once. You know what I mean? This is why when you're watching videos on YouTube or something, and you'll see advertisements pop up, and it's like the same advertisement, because at some point you're going to buy. At some point you're going to be like, you know what? I want to buy that Whopper or whatever, right? They'll be promoted at some point. So that's why it's important that they keep promoting it. Even though they had the Whopper, Burger King had the Whopper for 10 plus years, they still have to keep promoting it. They still have to keep telling the world that they sell Whoppers, just so whoever wasn't alive, when the Whopper was first announced and first was being sold, they will eventually catch on. They will know about it years after everybody already knows, right? Because there's always a new person is born every month, right, or every hour or something like that. So that concept. So there's always more to do. So you definitely want to make sure you understand the idea of 10xing whatever you do. 10x, of course, I mainly use this not just for workload, but just for the idea of, like, money. Of course, the workload of the stuff I do adds to that money part, right? To the fact that I have to make sure that what I do makes money. Not just makes money, but I need to make sure that it is attached to a monetary value, so that way I get something in return for my efforts. So if I make a YouTube video, I want to at least make $1 off of it, right? Since I put in so much time and effort into it. Especially like this, for example, that I'm doing right now. It's going to take me about an hour. So to at least be able to make at least $1 off of this, was worth it. Was worth the time. The fact that I'm taking an hour, up to an hour to be talking, would be worth it if I make at least $1. Now, if I make more, that's great, but at least $1, which is the minimum, right? You want to at least, at a minimum, want to make $1, which is better than nothing. Then after that, if I want more than $1, then I have to 10x it, right? If I want $10, I have to put in 10 times the work. If I want $100, I have to put in 10 times the work, and so on and so forth. That way, this gives you a method in which you can, basically it's more of a goal, right? The idea is like, yeah, first thing I'm going to do is try to make $1, but then I'm going to do stuff to make 10 next time, and then 100 next time. It's just basically setting goals that are more obtainable. Like, it's easier to make $1 than it is to make $1 million. Some things some people don't know, or even consider if they make money is the fact that the way you get a lot of money, have access to a lot of money, especially if like you're selling stuff or you're monetizing YouTube channel or something like that, you're doing something to get paid to make money, is the fact that you have to provide something to somebody else that convinces them to give you money. Because there's always this idea that it's like, oh, only the rich people got all the money or some shit like that. It's like, no, there's a lot of money in this world. Granted, there's some people in this world that have more money than others, but ultimately, collectively, altogether, everybody on the planet collectively, we all got lots of money. Like, the planet's very rich. Even if the individual people are not as rich, collectively we're rich. So, for example, the reason Jeff Bezos got billions of dollars is because you literally got billions of people spending a minimum of $1 on Amazon. So Jeff Bezos making a minimum of $1, right, off of all the people on the world. And he created something, put it out there. Not too original of an idea, but still, he put it out there. He put out Amazon, and billions of people, like it, agree to use it, right? To use Amazon, and they sent their money towards Amazon. So no surprise, Jeff Bezos has a lot of money, right? Because he did something that people want to put money into. Now, you have to think, well, what can I do that's beneficial for people to make money? Now, there's a couple ways of thinking about it, but there's two major ones so far when it comes to pretty much convincing somebody to give you $1. One is give people what they want. That sounds simple enough, right? But, it's not rocket scientists understanding that idea. You give people what they want, they'll give you money. That's the purpose of money is to exchange it for what you want. You give somebody money and they give you something you want. But it's not always, that simple, right? To just give somebody something they want for money, because some people, they want something, but they won't pay the price for it. Like somebody wants I'll say a Tesla, right? They'll want a Tesla, but they're not going to pay what it costs to get a Tesla. Well, actually, I should use Lamborghini as an example. Most people want a Lamborghini because they think it's so cool, right? Most people want a Lamborghini, but most people don't either A, don't have the money for the Lamborghini, or B, they do have the money, but they don't want to pay that price for the Lamborghini, right? So there's that. And then there's the few people who don't care about Lamborghini. All right, fine, to each their own. But the point is that a lot of times people want something, but they won't pay the price for it. And sometimes it's because they want it, but not that bad. They don't want it that bad. They don't want it so bad that it feels like it's not something they want, it's something they need. And that's the difference, right? So you got to understand that a lot of times people want something. Like, well, not sometimes. All the time people want something, but they usually settle for what they need more often than what they want. But of course, they do tend to want certain exaggerated things to the point where sometimes they feel that something that they want is something that they need. So then they buy it, and once after they buy it, they regret it because they're like, "Yeah, I really didn't need this. It was just the fact that I wanted it is why it felt so important for me to buy it. But I actually don't need it, or I don't need it. I don't need it that much. I could have waited until it got cheaper, or something better came out, So there's that aspect, giving people what they want, which a lot of times sucks because a lot of times people don't know what they want. Other times people want shit they don't really need. So then it becomes a waste. So then resentment comes from that. When you give people what they want, eventually they start resenting it. They start not appreciating it as much. Especially if people, let's say people want cat videos, and it's like, okay, but I like I like toy model cars, and so I want to make my YouTube channel about model cars. You know, painting them, collecting them, stuff like that, showing them off. But people want cat videos. So then you're thinking like, okay, well, people want cat videos. I should give them cat videos, and then that will work because you're giving people what they want. But then at some point, you're gonna realize that most of the people who wanted the cat videos, they got enough of it, right? They got enough of what they wanted that now they don't care about it no more. Now they're numb to it. So then they move on to something else. They're like, well, I want dog videos now. It's like, okay, I mean, I could do that, but that's the opposite of what the channel was about. The channel is literally called Cat Videos. That's the name of the channel, Cat Videos, and all I post is cat videos, and now you want dog videos. And it's like, that's totally different from what I'm doing. So that, creates a problem in that regards. So that's why a lot of times it's like, you can go that route if you want, give people what they want, but it doesn't last as long. It's better to give people what they need, because one, you already know that their needs are going to either be consistent because they're always going to need it, right? They're always going to need toilet paper, right? They're always going to need food, right? If you look at it that way, they're always going to need, new clothes every year and so on and so forth, right? So that is very important to understand. When you understand there's certain generic things people are going to need all the time, then that makes it easier to create something that the same person will always keep buying. So that simplifies the 10xing part, right, of making more money. Instead of making $1 off of that person, you can make 10, 100, 1,000, a million, right, off of that one person, because they'll just keep coming back. But then you have to think about how many people, might need different things. So you might want to spread beyond just one thing to multiple things to make sure you can be able to cater to these different customers on the things they need. And because they need it, it will always have a use as opposed to something somebody wants. Because, like I said, a lot of times when people get what they want, they tend to not want it anymore. It was just the idea of the thing, not the thing itself. It was the idea they're like, yo, man, I really want this thing, but it wasn't they really, really needed the thing. Therefore, that's why they, once they get it, you think it's like, oh my God, this is awesome. I got it. I really, really needed this. But since they didn't need it, they just wanted it. It becomes less important after they actually get it. And a lot of people tend to do that a lot. You see something that you like, you're going to want it, but do you need it though? You always have to consider that to yourself. But we're talking about our customers, right? The people that we're trying to convince to give us money. It's easier to convince somebody to give you money when you're giving them something they want, like a solution to a problem. That's why a lot of gurus out there, a lot of business people talk about solving problems. You want to make millions of dollars? Solve a problem a million times. Solve the same problem a million times. Solve multiple problems a million times, and you get the idea, right? 10x everything, right? Solve a problem 10 times, solve another problem 10 times, and so on and so forth. You don't want to settle for solving a problem, just a couple of times. You always want to solve it more than once. And that's the kind of stuff that I consider when when I create things. Because I see, especially I use YouTube, for example. I see people on YouTube making, certain types of videos that gets a lot of views and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that video was easy to do. It doesn't require a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of talent. So it's like, yeah, I could do that. I can easily make videos like that. This, you know, my grandma can make those types of videos. But the thing is like, but those videos, realistically, not only in my viewpoint, but also just in reality, they don't tend to add to anything. It's like, like the cat video thing. Like, that cat videos are cute and all, but they don't add value to the world. They don't solve a problem. If anything, they probably create problems more often than not. And if I'm right, they do. Because there'll be people watching cat videos at work when they should be working, so that definitely creates a problem for the business because people are not working, but they're still getting paid, right? So that creates a problem. So again, like, I could make a whole bunch of videos that get a whole bunch of views and likes and whatnot and go viral and all that kind of stuff, but what's the purpose? Like, if I do that, I'm not adding anything to the world. I'm not adding value to the world. I'm just doing the same thing a lot of other people are doing. And for what? I'll get the same results, which is nothing. You might be like, oh, well, no, you get a viral video, you could make a lot of money from it. Yeah, you could, or you could not. But here's the thing. Okay, I could make a lot of money from it. What they freaking do? The thing is, I'm making a lot of money from it because YouTube is giving me money for it. I'm not making a lot of money for it because the people who watch the videos are giving me money because the video was beneficial or useful to the people. Now, if I make a video on how to do something like a tutorial, that's different. Then that does help people. Now, whether the people I help give me money or not, that's a different story, right? So if I make money, if I make more money from my how-to video from YouTube as opposed to the people I'm actually helping with the information, all right, it's cool. At least I'm helping, right? At least my video, my content, my work is helpful. It's helping people, and I'm making some money, so that's good. That makes up for it. So it's good enough balance. But I could probably be way more helpful, way more, and if I want more money, of course, right, is make it where not only was the video helpful for the person, but links in the description of the video, other details and information in the video itself can be beneficial to the person. Not just information, not just hearing me talk, but also, seeing certain things like, hey, we have this particular item that I'm selling, you can, make more money or whatever the how-to video, what the how-to video is about. Then that adds more value to the person. So not only am I making the YouTube money, right? I'm also making money from the customer, right? Money because I'm giving the customer stuff that they can have in return for money. So I was able to convince them to give me money. So there's that. But to each their own. YouTube is a unique thing. I want to focus more on direct to consumer concepts. The idea of like you and somebody and you trying to convince them to give you money, right? That cut out the middleman, YouTube and stuff like that, and Amazon, right? Cut out the middleman, just you and the customer, right? You and the fan, you and someone else. You get the idea. So that's the kind of stuff I like to think about and focus on. It's like, yeah, I want to make sure I give you something of value, more than just give you what you want. But it's important to understand how the world currently works, even though, there are two ways to try to convince people to give you money. And one is a little bit more, I'll say, ethical. I prefer the help people and make money that way method than to just give people what they want for money, because to me it feels a little bit more shady, because it's you might see it as like, well, no, if they want it, I'm doing them a favor. But that's the same thing what a drug dealer thinks. Oh, well, I mean, people want crack cocaine. They want crack cocaine. I mean, giving them what they want. Yeah, but what they want is not what they need. And it's definitely not something they should want, but they do. That's unfortunate that they do want the drugs, right? And that's unfortunate for them. But that's why you gotta pay attention and focus on making sure you understand that the person needs to focus on their needs more than their wants. But in this world, wants is more important than needs. So that's an unfortunate thing. In the past, like over 30 years ago, giving people what they need was, better because people needed stuff and you sold them what they needed. But now people just want stuff. Now it's more about, you know, having things than needing things. Some people used to travel the world and go on vacation because they needed to go on vacation. Now people go on vacation or travel the world because they want to. See the difference? People used to buy, certain types of cars because they needed those types of cars for, whatever reason they needed it for. But now people just buy certain cars because they want the car. They don't need it. They want it. Like no one needs a high performance sports car, that's designed more for racing than for driving to work. But because people want it more than need it, they'll buy it. So because people want more than they need, that'll be the direction you'll probably go. Or I'm just saying that is the direction that the consumers want. More people want more than they actually need. And that's unfortunate, but that's the state of the world. So I'm just letting you know to keep that in mind, to understand that people want things more than they need it. So if you go the giving, trying to give people what they need and provide people what they need route, your results are going to be less, but they're going to be of quality because you're giving people quality, right? You're giving people what they need, not what they want. But if you just care about quantity and it's all about the numbers and it's all about more than less, whatnot, then yeah, going the giving people what they want route is that. And that's why I just really don't like the, part of why I don't like the giving people what they want route, because then it's part of it is because it's not me. Like it's like if I see a problem in the world and I come up with a solution to solve the problem because there's a problem, I want to give you what you need, which is a solution to that problem. But if all you want is the problem to get worse, or if you want the problem to get ignored, like you want people to act like there is no problem, it's like, that's stupid. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pretend the problem doesn't exist. Just because you want me to pretend the problem doesn't exist doesn't mean I'm going to, right? So it's like, no, I'm not going to ignore the problem. So I'm not going to give you what you want. What I'm going to do is give you what you need, which is a solution to the problem. So that's why I prefer that route. Granted, I'll get less results out of it, but the results I do get will be quality, will be results that actually matter and have importance, at least to me, right? But like I said, the world is backwards. People care more about opinions than facts. They care more about what they want more than what they need. Like they'll spend money on shit they don't need, but they want. Like somebody will buy, I don't know, a PS5 or something because they want it instead of paying their rent. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, you should pay your rent first. And if you have money afterwards to buy a PS5, then buy the PS5 afterwards. But you always take care of your needs first. Just like somebody will choose to not eat because they want to go buy something. It's like, wait, what? Instead of spending money on food, something you need, you instead buy something materialistic, something that one can't feed you, and two, you're probably going to get tired of it in less than a week or something like that. It's like, think about how illogical that is. You know, like somebody will literally take a whole month's worth of food, like money that they could have bought a month's worth of food, and then just buy some trinket, buy some, item that makes them happy when they bought it. But then afterwards, they're like, "Yeah, this is awesome that I have this, but man, I'm hungry." And then it's like, "Shit, I'm not gonna have money till 30 days from now, hypothetically, right?" So then, of course, there's a problem because you bought something you wanted, not something you needed. So there's that. So 10x. There's a lot that can be 10x. Obviously, um, you're just one person, so you don't want to do everything. So it makes sense that at some point you're going to want to you're going to want to get other people involved so that way you can multiply the workload, right? So that way, instead of just you making, let's say YouTube videos, for example, you have somebody else make YouTube videos, and then somebody else, and have multiple people making YouTube videos. So that way, it adds up to a large sum of stuff. Like instead of you making one video a day and uploading one video a day to the channel, you can upload 10 videos a day to the channel, for example, if you're doing YouTube, for example. So that'd be 10xing that. Instead of promoting your video one time, let's say you make a video, you upload it, instead of promoting it one time, promote it 10 times, right? 100 times, 1,000 times, right? Of course, spread it out. Don't try to do that all in one day per se. I mean, there's some people out there that probably do. They promote their stuff 10 times a day on all social medias, but teach their own. I don't like doing that because it's just over exaggerating. It seems very spammy, and because pretty much is spammy. It's just me, trying to get attention. Right? Like, look at me. I made a video. Watch it. It's like I do want people to watch the video, but I want people to watch the video just because the video is out there, and at some point they need the information the video has to offer, and they'll find the video because the video is available. So I try to make sure that my titles of my videos are very specific about what the video is. When I do YouTube videos, so that way it'd be easier to find. It should be easier to find. Been noticing this. YouTube has been making a habit of the past. This used to work, but now it doesn't work the same. Now YouTube have algorithms, stuff like that. So now YouTube, instead of just randomly making it where people can find your videos, or make it where when people do look for your videos, they at least try to show new videos that were uploaded about with those keywords in the search, with old videos that that fit that keyword. Now they just focus on just like trying to promote specific types of videos. If the video was popular, then they'll just keep promoting it. It's like, yeah, see, but the problem is that what you're doing is you're monopolizing a certain piece of content. One video about making $1 million, it's not the only video. It's not the only. Because more likely that video is talking about one way of making $1 million, not the only way of making $1 million, right? So there's probably millions of ways of making $1 million. So there's going to be a million videos on how to make $1 million. So you need to promote all of them, not just that one video. Thinking that one video is the so it's very important to. Yeah, I lost track of thought, but it's very important to put in more effort into the things you're doing than just at one time. So yeah, YouTube, just not promoting things fairly is the point I'm trying to make at. I expect to at least see 1,000 plus views per each of my video that I upload, especially if I have close to 1,000 subscribers, for example. I definitely should get a minimum of 1,000 views just from the subscriber base. So if YouTube is not making sure that my subscribers, are notified and see and watch, and are suggested videos from me, even though they're subscribed to me, that makes no sense, because it's like they're subscribed to me to watch a, let's say I make money content, and they're watching videos on how to make money, and they're subscribed to me. Since I'm one of the YouTube channels that makes videos about making money, when videos are being suggested, recommended to be watched, my videos should pop up because they're subscribed to me. So since I do make that content, my content, I should pop up. It shouldn't be somebody that you're not subscribed to, right? That is part of the weird thing. It's like YouTube has it backwards. They'll treat the fact that, well, they're already subscribed to you and you make videos about making money. Why we're going to not promote somebody else who hasn't been subscribed to? We want to make sure everybody gets a subscriber. It's like, yeah, I get that idea, but the thing is, if somebody wants to subscribe to someone else, they'll find that one by just looking at random videos anyway, because they're already searching for content about making money. They're going to find other content creators on their own. They don't need you to direct them towards other content creators. And we all know that you're more likely going to direct them to content creators that have a lot of subscribers. You're not going to direct them to content creators that have very little subscribers. You're not trying to make small YouTube channels grow to be big YouTube channels. You're just going to keep pushing the big channels and help them grow even more because you're trying to make more money. And your main focus is money. Your main focus is not the content creators. You care more about making money than us. But that's for a different video, right? This is not about YouTube. Just pointing out that I'm not stupid. I see the obviousness of what's going on. But, because recently I've been trying out some new things. Some stuff I'm trying out are not really new. They're old, but, I'm revisiting them and reusing them to see what kind of results I can get, if I can 10x stuff. Because if I can get at least one view on a YouTube video, I should be able to get 10, right? And then I should be able to get 100, 1,000, and then go all the way up to 1,000,000, right? If I put in 10 times the effort. More so, it's not necessarily effort, it's trying to get 10 times the result. I don't want there to be a confusion. You can do 10 times the work, right? Do some, you can make 10 YouTube videos a day instead of one, obviously, but just making one video 10 times better or 10 times longer instead of making instead of making 10-minute YouTube videos, just make one long YouTube video that is equivalent to 10 videos, like an hour-long video, for example. So if you, instead of making separate, shorter videos, make one big, long, for example, right? Plus, that allows you to, it makes it easier to promote because you're promoting just that one video, right? And again, you put in 10 times the effort to make that one video instead of making 10 different videos. So you expect 10 times the returns, right? So it's not just 10 times the effort that you put into something is also 10 times the return. That's the other aspect of 10x you want to focus on. Is it's not enough to do 10 times the effort and just get 1 times value out of it, right? So you don't want to do something 10 times and only make $1, right? If you're going to do something 10 times, you want to make at least $10, because that's $1 per each time you did something, right? Per each effort. So you want your efforts to at least have a minimum of $1 value. So, for example, if you do 10 jumping jacks, you want to burn at least a calorie per jumping jack. So you want to burn off at least 10 calories, right? So that kind of stuff. So all I'm saying is I want you to think small at first, because the big things in life start off small, right? Everything starts off at the subatomic level, right? Off of a molecule, atoms and stuff like that, and then it goes beyond that when you keep 10x in it, right? When you keep multiplying, keep adding to it. Same thing with becoming wealthy, having a lot of money. You start off with $1, because $1 million, for example, it's $1 million, right? It's 1 million individual dollars, all summed up to $1 million, right? So you got to start off with $1 and work your way up to $1 million. And the way you can start that process is, by trying to put in 10 times the effort to turn that dollar into $10. Another way of doing the 10x thing is the idea of trying something 10 times. Not necessarily succeeding 10 times, trying to do something 10 times until you succeed at least once, right? Because some people will try to start a YouTube channel, for example, and once they don't get an immediate the results they want immediately, then they'll quit, right? They'll give up. They'll make one video, they'll upload it, and then when it doesn't get that many views, let's say it only gets 3 views, and they quit. When they should, try again. Also, they should try to promote that video opportunity to try to get at least 10 views, 100 views, right? And so on and so forth. But instead of doing that, they'll quit if the results ain't fast. That's unfortunate. Which is why it's important to try more than once, is what I'm saying. You want at least 10x 10x your efforts, 10x on a lot of things. You know how they say, sometimes you might want to check and recheck something. Don't assume something, it was done perfect the first time or just done right or something. Always, double check, as they say. Well, some people even say triple check. Sometimes you gotta triple check something to make sure everything's all good. Because you don't want there to be a problem, a flaw. Sometimes you might have to go back, especially if you make a YouTube video, for example, you might want to go back and check the video. See if the title has a misspelling or something, or something, something's wrong with the, maybe there's something wrong with the audio. You should watch the video on YouTube, and especially on your phone or other devices, and see if the video looks good or sounds good. Because the audio of your video could be bad, right? And so forth and so forth. You get the idea. It's like you might want to check your efforts multiple times. 10 times, 100 times, right? not necessarily that much, but you get the idea. So many other things you can 10x. 10x opportunities. If an opportunity presents itself and it's like, oh man, this was awesome that this happened, and instead of just thinking that, it would never happen again, or that it was just a fluke, actually try to figure out why it happened. A possibility could be that the opportunity presented itself is because you were doing something enough times that it did something, right? For example, if you promote your YouTube, like let's just say this, because this is something I'm going to try soon, see how it works. What I'm gonna do is, uh, like like I probably won't do it for 10 hours, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tweet something. Let's say I tweet something at 12 12 noon, right? Like let's say I have a YouTube video and I tweet it 12 noon, and then wait an hour, delete it, and then tweet it again at 1 o'clock, right? Then wait an hour, delete it, and tweet it again at 2 o'clock. Now I don't know if Twitter's gonna make a big deal about that and complain that I'm doing that. Depends on the rules and stuff, but um, this might be a possibility that this will help get the tweet enough attention. Because the thing is that at least I'm giving myself an hour to see if anyone even noticed my tweet. If no one noticed my tweet within an hour, then that was the wrong time to tweet. So then I'll tweet again and see what happens. So until I start getting a much better result. So I'll keep tweeting that tweet until I find the best time for me to tweet. Especially if it turns out that my let's say I have I do have a lot of followers, but it's like, let's say the best time for me to tweet would be 6 o'clock at night, like 6 p.m. right? Then that's when I'll tweet. Obviously I don't have to keep tweeting every hour the same thing, right? Tweet, delete, tweet, delete, tweet, delete. Once I figure out what's the best time for me to tweet, then I just have to schedule it, and then I do that, and I do that every day, like for 10 days, for example. So that way, or instead of doing the hour thing, I could just tweet, once a day, like that specific tweet, like tweet today something, right? And then the next day, delete the tweet and then tweet it again, and then see what happens. Right? And keep that over and over again. We want to get to the point where once you tweet it and it starts getting a lot of traction, right? It starts getting a lot of stuff like retweets and stuff like that. Then that's when you want to stop. So that's something I'm thinking about. Sorry, test and experiment, and definitely watch videos. It's not enough to watch one video. There you go. That's another thing. It's not enough to watch one YouTube video on how to do something. Definitely want to 10x it. You want to watch at least a minimum of 10 videos or more on how to do something. Because what you want to do is you want to cross-reference all 10 videos, for example, and see what's the common information that all these videos have. Because a lot of times, the information that's common in all the videos was the best information. It was the information that is the common denominator. It's the information that does work because everyone is saying to do that thing, right? So if everybody's made a YouTube video saying the best time to tweet is at 6 p.m. at night, right? Then there you go. Then that's the time you should tweet, right? Because that's the best time. Because everybody already figured it out. Everybody took the time to figure out that that's the best time. So since all the videos you saw said that in the video that was the best time, well, there you go. Now you confirmed it. It's not enough to just watch one video and think that video tells you everything you need to know. It won't work that way, So you have to watch multiple videos. So it's not enough to watch one video on how to make money online, for example. You need to watch multiples to truly understand how to make money online. Because no one video is going to just flat out tell you exactly how to make money online perfectly, all in that one video. And then that one video will always be true because the world changed. Like I said before, that in the past you could sell people things that they needed, like toothbrush or blender or something. Something they would need or actually definitely need, like life insurance or something, right? But now the world has changed to people buy more of what they want than what they need. They tend to buy what they need less than the stuff they want. So because of that change, you have the whatever information you find, you gotta make sure it is current. It matches the new way of things. Like for example, if people are motivated to buy stuff more because they saw it on TikTok than on YouTube, it don't make sense for you to put videos on YouTube, right, all the time talking about, hey, I have this thing you can buy. It's better to be on TikTok saying, hey, I got these things you can buy, because a lot of people are on TikTok and they spend more money there, right? I wouldn't be surprised that will be a thing at some point. TikTok is planning to put the ability to put links and stuff like that, obviously for money purposes. That way, people can be on TikTok promoting stuff they're trying to sell, and then they'll, try to make TikTok will try to make money off of that ability. So we'll see how that works out. Because ironically, here's the thing: I instantly get a shitload of views on TikTok. Like I got over 100 views in less than an hour on like a video that I posted. And it wasn't even my own video per se. It was a duet. So I duetted somebody's video. So you can kind of look at it like a retweet or something, right? Just I could do it, right? Duet is a thing I can do on TikTok. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll take advantage of it. Because essentially, it's not that different from taking somebody's video on YouTube and then uploading it to your YouTube channel just so you can get a whole bunch of views. It's pretty much the same premise. But the difference is that they allow it on TikTok, right? It's a feature on TikTok where you can, duet, right? You can, share somebody's video on your page, your channel. So you'll definitely, and that's how I'm easily getting views, because like I'm seeing all these videos in my For You page that is popular, right? Because they have a lot of likes and views and stuff, and they're popping up on my For You page. So it's like, hey, I like this video. This video was funny or cool or interesting to me. You know what? I'll duet it. Now, what I'm doing in the duet is I'm not doing anything other than just recording my laptop screen of whatever I'm trying to promote. So, if I'm trying to promote a website, or a video, like ironically, I have a video that I'm going to put on TikTok, which is this one right here. My wife, it's her podcast. It's another podcast I have on here. So I'm going to, promote this with a TikTok duet video. So, and it doesn't take that much effort to do it. Obviously, the person already did all the work to create I'll say viral content, and I'm able to just use it real easily to promote. So here's a little promo tip for you. If you want to promote your stuff on TikTok, this is a way you can do it, because it's like, oh, why don't I do this? Or why don't I record, or basically it's a screenshot concept. The idea of like, why not have a screenshot right next to a viral content video, right? Like a video that's popular on TikTok, and have it on my channel, so that way it gets me more views and stuff like that. And it's just a way I can promote myself next to somebody else's content, right? Use somebody else's content to help promote my stuff, that kind of concept. So it's like, okay, yeah. Because sometimes I'll see people duet, and they'll just be sitting there doing nothing, just sitting there doing nothing, smiling, maybe reacting, just there. And I'm like, and I have a lot of views. I'm like, wait, so and then I'll check their page. It's like, that's all you're doing. You're not making your own content. You're just sharing other people's content. It's like, yeah, this does in some way help them get exposure and attention and promotion, but at the same time, it gives you free promotion, because you're getting promoted at the same time they're getting promoted. Like, they're the ones who made the video, right? They're the ones who put in the work, but you're getting a free benefit out of it. Like, you're getting free views and attention, and even people following you, you're getting a lot of stuff for nothing. You're getting something for nothing because you didn't put no work, no real work. I should be specific. You ain't put no real work, but you're getting almost equal benefit out of it. Now, to me, that's, it's wrong in one way, but I'm like, I get it in another way. It's like, well, since I am promoting your content, your work, by sharing it, I should at least get something out of it, right? Which is, I should get, which is why I started promoting. I'm like, I should promote my own stuff. If I'm going to share other people's content, and their content is really good, so why not share, right? If I'm going to share their content, potentially getting them more followers and likes and views and stuff like that, I should get something out of it. So why not promote my own stuff in the process, right? So that's the thing with that. And you can do it, 10 times a day, right? For example, right? It's, and promote. The funny thing is, right, what you can do, especially if you have just one thing to promote, you can literally promote that one thing every day, right? Because all you have to do is just duet a video. Just duet a video. You could do that 10 times a day, right? Do 10 duet videos promoting just one thing. Like, hey, here's my YouTube channel, right? You can just, on one side of the video, the duet part, right, your part, will show your YouTube channel, right? And then the second part is obviously the video that you're duetting. And just duet popular videos. And, get some quick exposure, quick attention.